Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the New Japan strong results for the Openweight Tag Tournament of July 9th. Christopher Daniels and announcer Ian Riccaboni is there. And this is a Openweight Tag Team Tournament. Too many championships in wrestling, but it is what it is. Christopher Daniels and Ian Riccaboni they run down the fact that Carl Fredericks is absent, and he is Daniel also explained that with such a high level of talent in the tournament, he said it's smart to step aside and establish a unit and then would take Frederick's spot. He also explained that he has a 29-year background in wrestling. He also knows that opportunities like this don't come often, and he said he'd win the tournament. He'd need a partner who matched his drive and ambition to win. Daniels then brings out Yuri Uemura. He tells Uemura that he had some fire and heart, and uh, they called. Uh, they could surprise many teams and become the inaugural tag team champions. Uemura said, "Let's go," and they shake hands and off we go, which is a good endorsement for Uemura. Strong openweight tag team championship round one tournament. Christopher Daniels and Yuri Uemura defeat the Factory, Kanemaru, and Solo with QT Marshall to advance into the next round. Good opener. Crowd loves the team together, and obviously the Factory are good heels, and there's control early. Daniels takes a beating for a bit, but then um, about 5 minutes into the match, he begins to turn things around and tags out to Uemura, who enters the ring with a bunch of forearms. He hits a flying forearm, the case that Tino Santana would be proud of. Uemura then lands a running bulldog on Solo, and the crowd loves that. He earns a near fall and a back suplex, but Kanemaru then rushes back and breaks up the pin. He beats on his opponent despite being illegal. Uemura then tags out to Daniels, and they do double teams. Camarado then runs towards the two. Daniels low bridges him and pulls the top rope down, leading to Kanemaru spilling onto the floor. Uemura follows up with a pescado onto Kanemaru. And then inside the ring, Daniels catches Solo with a standing Uranagi, pins him after a double jump moonsault for the win. Daniels and Uemura advance to the next round and the semifinals. Jonah defeats Taylor Rust. Rust has trouble with Jonah's size early and then tries to chop him down with low kicks. And Jonah's is clearly supported by the fans, even though he's supposed to be a heel. Working over the legs for the majority of the match is what Rust spends his time doing. The fan began chanting NXT at Jonah, who pointed the fans and takes a few steps. He responded with a um, uh, insult for the 2.0 stuff. Crowd goes wild for that line. Jonah blasts Rush with chops out of nowhere and throws him out to the floor. Jonah stays in control of the match. Jonah then levels Rush with a back elbow back in the ring. After about 5 minutes of action, pace begins to slow down. Rust is on the mat and tries to squeeze him in a wrist lock. Jonah then goes for a splash. Rust moves out of the way. Jonah then goes for the corner with a Samoan drop, and then Rust goes to ground and pound Jonah with elbows and kicks before locking in a modified Rings of Saturn submission. Jonah gets to the ropes, causing a rope break. Jonah remains undefeated after hitting a splash off the top rope to win the match. Not necessarily thinking that this is the way the match should have gone, to be completely honest. On a three-match show, this kind of felt like it dragged it in points, and also Jonah shouldn't have had that much trouble with Rust. Strong openweight tag team tournament. TMDK, Shane Haste, and Mikey Nichols defeat West Coast Wrecking Crew of Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs to advance to the semifinals. Hase and Nichols have appeared together for a long time. Haven't appeared together for a long time. Nelson and Nichols start things off. Nelson then throws his T-shirt at his opponent. Is standing on the apron in the corner. Both teams are heels, so it's kind of hard for the crowd to get behind things. Both go two attempts of double team finishers, which don't come together. Haste lands a Japanese arm drag, and Nelson powers out Haste and slams him into the corner before attacking Isaacs. Isaacs then holds Haste in a vertical suplex position for about half a minute before dropping him. WC traps Haste in their corner before taking and stomping away at him. Isaacs comes back and goes for the pin, but catches Haste with a jumping knee, then climbs the top rope before he could dive out, and Haste clashes and goes up the second rope, landing on Nelson with a single arm suplex. Isaacs and Nicholas tagged back in, and they fight it out. Nicholas gets nailed with a suplex powerbomb combination for 2 count, and ultimately Gerald Nelson comes back with a German suplex. Nicholas counters that into a DDT before tagging back to Haste. Haste lands a beautiful drop kick. TMDK connects with the Tank Buster on Nelson. Isaacs rushes in to make the save. NWC calls for the finish. Nelson bounces off the ropes. Nicholas yanks Nelson out of the ring by his ankles and nails him a lariat on the floor. Then Haste blasts Isaacs with the high roundhouse kicks. TMDK puts him away with the elevator for the win, and TMDK advances to the semifinals. I'm excited to see what they will do with the other semifinal combatants. We'll be back with more right after this.